Good morning, everybody. There's actually sunshine and blue sky at my house this morning. I don't know about out at your house, Eric Millerin, but at my house there's blue sky, and I'm like, praise be.
It is sunny here too. Yeah.
All right. It really makes a difference in my mood in the morning when there's a little bit of sunshine. So, when I was trying to figure out about poems today, I was like, okay, what do we do now? Where do we go from here? I find myself being. This week has been a hard week for me personally, just kind of feeling a little lost some days of how am I going to keep my energy going in all this. Um, so let's just go around and say our good mornings with an image or a color that helps describe how we're feeling today in this moment. Mine is fading rose,
Uh,
kind of both a color and an image. Because I have a rose bush that has like kind of a bouquet, literally about this big, of like maybe 25 roses that all bloomed at once and now are all fading. But they're still beautiful.
mhm.
So, yes, it's Friday. It kind of is amazing that the weeks are still going by quickly. Um, Judith, just because you're new to this circle, just to say really what we do is read some poems and just reflect back a line or a feeling or an image from the poem that resonates with you. Um, and we do some writing together and do the same thing with what we read to each other. It's pretty simple. So, in thinking about what are we doing? How are we going forward? Probably a month or more ago, I got sent this poem by Jane Hirshfield um, towards the beginning of the pandemic, I think, called Today When I Could Do Nothing. Today, when I could do nothing, I saved an ant. It must have come in with the morning paper, still being delivered to those who shelter in place. A morning paper is still an essential service. I am not an essential service. I have coffee and books, time, a garden, silence enough to fill cisterns. It must have first walked the morning paper as if loosened ink taking the shape of an ant. Then across the laptop computer, warm, then onto the back of a cushion. Small black ant alone, crossing a navy cushion, moving steadily because that is what it could do. Set outside in the sun, it could not have found again its nest. What then did I save? It did not move as if it was frightened, even while walking my hand, which moved it through swiftness and air. Ant, alone, without companions, whose ant heart I could not fathom. How is your life? I wanted to ask. I lifted it, took it outside. The first day when I could do nothing, contribute nothing, beyond staying distant from my own kind, I did this. A word or a line that you're curious about or that jumps out at you.
Silence enough to fill cisterns.
Yeah.
Ant alone without companions.
Mm-hmm.
Which moved it through swiftness and air. Mm.
How is your life? Ant heart I could not fathom.
Small black ant alone, crossing a navy cushion.
How is your life?
What then did I save?
Yeah, what then did I say? The first day when I could do nothing.
I am not an essential service.
Mhm.
Could contribute nothing beyond staying distant from my own kind.
Jerry said I am an essential service.
And he would know.
So, as always, you can use whatever word or line jumps out at you the most, or you can use today when I could do nothing, or you could use how is your life, or I am not an essential service. But really, if there's a line that speaks to you more clearly, start with that line. And we'll do a 4-minute write. If you want to mute yourselves while you're writing, go. Is someone ready or willing to read what they've written? So I'm going to read an old poem that probably many of us know at least a line or two from, but it struck me when I came across it this week. This is called The Road Less Traveled by Robert Frost.
I had forgotten how long that poem was. You're right. You remember certain lines and
Right.
yes.
Right. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and being one traveler, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
Love it. Go on.
We usually just hear the last verse.
Uh-huh. So what stands out for you about this poem? What resonates for you?
And that has made all the difference.
I took the one
So,
that traveled.
I took the one less traveled.
Knowing how way leads on to way. Yes.
Yeah.
And sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I could not travel both.
I doubted if I should ever come back. So let's write with either two roads diverged or knowing how way leads on to way. Or if you just want to write about the road that you have traveled. I will start the timer now. Great. I'll read what I wrote because it started with the same. I shall be telling this with a sigh as I look back at the long and sometimes strange and previously unimagined roads that I have traveled. Someone gave me a map once and directions. I was young then, but I quickly tore it up and threw the pieces into a nearby bin and set out alone and directionless and unafraid in order to find my road, the road that has led me here, now, to you, to me.
Wonderful.
Yeah. That has led me now to you. Nice.
Strange and unimagined roads I have traveled.
Tore it up and put the pieces in a bin.
Yes.
Set out alone, directionless, and unafraid.
Telling this with a sigh.
Thanks. Well, as the weeks fly by, so do the hours. So there's always a part of me that wants to just keep doing this, but I love that we have come together for yet another amazing hour of words and time and feelings, and I'm just so taken by the ways we get to know each other through these words and moments of sharing that is quite just spectacular. So thank you all, as always, for taking this particular road that hopefully during this crazy time of this pandemic and everything else going on in the world, some of this will help make a difference for us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep writing, keep reading poems, keep sending the ones that you love to us so that we can put them together so that we can all look at them and go, wow, yeah, we really wrote these in 4 minutes. This is amazing. So I think I mentioned that we're gonna, my hope is to put some kind of little booklet together at least like once a season. So my goal is for Gail and I to get it together by the beginning of September to put together a grouping of poems that have been written. May you all have a peaceful, safe day, weekend.